in schools is way different. You just gonna hit
And
the
everybody,
fucking
welcome to the
button.
News London Brunch Talk Your Shit Season 2 finale. We about to go around the room and touching on all our guests and panelists tonight. We was already getting started just a little bit, having a heavy conversation, which coincides with one of our topics of this season: men reclaiming the household and half in the relationship. I like the way A Town laid that out on the floor, and it was a little battle in between us women and men, because there's ways that we understand certain things, and then there's ways that men see certain things that we try to get them to understand, if that makes sense. It's a mixing pot, which we can touch basis on and make sure we cover all perspectives. A Town, would you
Yeah.
like to reiterate at all what we were just talking about, just to see if that was something you really, really felt was a question, or something that you was just really trying to poke the bear and see, what you was gonna get?
Yeah, I was just talking my shit. Like I was really like, she had showed the dog, and I was like, oh, this dude did this. Do you think this was the case? And she eloquently said it was not, and she delivered it phenomenally. Like, but I wouldn't call her part of the 35 and unders. Like, you know what I mean? So even if she is 35 and under, she got an old soul. So I'm not even going.
Brother A Town,
Talk to me.
you probably appreciate the femininity in her answer. Am I correct?
Absolutely. Like, but what it is, it's the femininity, the accountability, the everything as a whole. Like, it's the building up of the individual that she's dealing with. Like, it sounds like there's no games. She's not thinking one thing, saying another thing. Like, she's not trying to get a rise out of him just for the sake of getting a rise out of him. Like, shit that modern women do, shit that the 35 and unders do. Like, it
Brother, it's not
like,
just 35 though.
but wait, hold on. Now, if she's 35 and older acting like that, she just what, I ain't even going.
No, I'm saying that I've dated some older.
It's very rare that I've come across a woman that was like 35 and over, and 36 plus, and she was on that kind of time. And the only reason why she was on that kind of time is if she was just like, I'm not gonna call her super ratchet, but I'm like, I'll say extremely ignorant, because she's stuck in a hood like mentality. And I've come across women that was 36 plus, but they was extremely like on some super hood shit, and it was like unbecoming. Like, it was crazy the way, like, but that's just the ignorance of that particular situation when it was a 36 pluses. Like, it was just real like toxic shit that I've, what I'm saying, come across in certain conversations. But that was few and far between. I've come across a lot of 35 and unders that do shit just for the sake of doing shit, just cause, like, and it's not even conducive to the relationship that they're trying to have with the individual that they're with. They're just blatantly causing havoc just for the sake of havoc. Like, like, it don't make no sense to me, like, at all.
No, I dig where you're coming from. I did admire and hearing the femininity in her voice and how she replied to the answer. That was that made me
absolutely.
feel good. That was empowering. A lot of women, and I think in general, could learn from that and be more of a helpmate and supportive towards some of the men's goal in our community, because it's going to eventually benefit them. Because one thing about men,
they haven't. What's fucked up is they had to be men. You feel me? Like, due to the fact of the baby fathers or boyfriends or whatever the case may be, like, they can't, like, women be like, oh, I can't wait to be in my soft feminine era, because they had to be a nigga for so long. They had to be mom and dad, whatever the case may be. Or because of the type of men that they chose to deal with, they had to be hard to keep up with them. Like, the men that they was dealing with didn't want them all soft and tender and cuddly. They wanted yo, shorty, I need you to hold this blick. I need you to be out here screaming gang, gang, and all this other extra shit. Like, and that's what they know. So they moving through that motion, and they get with a man. He's not jacking none of that. What, bitch, you better soften up. Like, what are you doing? Like, I hang with my niggas for all that. I don't come around you to be with gang, bitch. Like, you're bugging. Like, what are you talking about? You're wilding. Look at the 35 and unders now. They make the drill music and sound like niggas. These women sound like niggas. If they're the only time they're feminine sounding is if they're, over provocatively rapping sexually. When they're not, but when they're not, they're on some nigga shit. They sound like niggas that's doing all these New York female rappers that's drilling sound like niggas. They sound like men. Wild, aggressive, all that. You come across a certain New York women, they sound like niggas.
Do you think that okay, we know that in the music industry that some of these women do not write their own lyrics. Do you think that the men that are writing these lyrics and them reciting it, do you think that contributes to some of their behaviors that's out there?
Man, it's art imitating life, imitating art. Like it just is what it is. Like
it's interesting you say that too, though. If you think about it, though, Rolly, because not for nothing, I remember in the episode, "Men Reclaiming the Household." I remember Anthony Getzevaris from Tennessee. He was discussing about how, this population of women right now are they're more independent, they're more assertive, they're more standing on what they want, and they pretty much have everything that they need when it comes to like basic needs and met. They have their own place, they have their own car, they have all the resources they need to elevate. It's just that they have a hard time finding a partner that they can trust, that will actually be a partner with them versus manipulate them, be narcissistic to them, be cruel to them, control them, and try to fit all these narratives of just being a wife and not a wife and partner. Like some men want a wife because they want somebody to do for them, but then you have some men that want a wife that will be a partner with them, that will elevate, things in life. So I think. Do
you think that the government actually elevate those type of situations?
Oh, absolutely. I do. I feel like it play a part for sure.
The reason why I'm
you want to talk about the fucked up shit white people do?
The reason why I was bringing that up, like when she was talking about housing and stuff, there was an article that I saw about Black women being evicted at high numbers. Also that they're not taking Section 8 vouchers as well. So there was a lot of women expressing their concern, saying, "Hey, I can't find adequate housing." Then you have some people that are on the conservative side, on the side of things, saying, "Hey, well, why don't you find a good man? Or how about you work on an established relationship with a man so you can get adequate housing and stuff of that nature? Or how about you make peace with the baby father?"
These women have been trained to say, "I don't need a man. I don't need a man. Only thing I need a man for."
We need each other. We need each other, though.
Listen, you and I know this, but these women running around here, present company excluded, because I don't know y'all like
don't that. Don't marginalize it just women, because these men act like they don't need a woman either. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Or they're skipping the country, or they're skipping the country on that passport. On that.
All right, so all right. There's a lot of men go to work, take care of home, whoop-de-whoop, do whatever they got to do to get what they need done. And they get off of work, and they pull up in front of their house, and their woman is in the house waiting for them. What do these men do? Sit in the car for about 20 to 60 minutes before you even go in the house. So you got to depress, you have to gather yourself before you go into the house and deal with your life partner, as opposed to going in a house and decompressing with your life partner. Okay, cool. So now with that being said, if these women, all right, if a man goes, I don't need a woman, that's him running around getting money, doing what he's doing, hanging with his niggas, and and dealing with women accordingly. I don't need you for nothing. I cook, I clean, I do my own laundry. Only thing you could give me is mouth and box, shorty. So when I want it, I'm gonna holler at you.
But
because
women are much more.
You're not even giving me the conversation. You're not even sparking nothing intellectual with me because you're a modern woman. Like you're on this other shit. Okay,
I just want to touch on that a little bit because all of the stuff that you said, I want to add to it, saying that a lot of times with some women is that usually their brains doesn't match up to their age, and that goes for everybody. Just because there might be a saying that says that women are naturally more mature than men, does that necessarily makes that true? I've met a lot of women in my age, I'm 34, who do not operate like I do, are very lackadaisical, are very stagnant, don't want to do anything. They believe in a man is supposed to take care of me and I'm not supposed to have nothing. And if he doesn't come with something, then he's of no value to me. And that's not reality. Reality is, and just touching on, I was raised in a two-parent household. My parents are still married till this day, 40 years. That's where I got my type of consistency from for that. You see, I was raised, and the way how my parents raised me, my mother raised me knowing I will be a wife one day if that's my choice, but I also have a choice to be independent and not codependent on a man. My value for a man is just as his value, which means if I am bringing a table, he gonna have to bring some plates. If I bring a chair, he gonna have to bring a screw gun to put in them screws. But a lot of times people don't operate like that. They're operating thinking that everything is supposed to be given and not evenly distributed. So when you're living in a society where there's more propaganda for not just Black women, for all women, but just let's hone in on the Black women, because you see Black women is the ones that is the most loud, most ignorant, unable to settle down. These are the type of characteristics that's being placed out on us. What women are now doing is feeding into it. They're being children in the sense of, instead of showing people that that's not what we stand for as women, they're moving away from it. They want to be city girls. They want to be like men. This tit for tat situation is unnecessary. If you're a woman, be a woman. Focus on self-love. Focus on building yourself. Before you take it yourself to a place to offer anything for a man, then you're going to have a gentleman like A-Town feeling like we are all ditzy, when that's not the case.
No,
Not
all of y'all did. See,
not all of us, but the woman that you
came from a loving,
look like Helen or look like Janisha are ditzy. We might be able to navigate through work and everything but we cannot hold successfully a relationship because we ourselves are lacking. And there's a lot of things women don't want to admit. We do lack too, and we have to fix that. And that starts within the household.
Yeah, but see, that's accountability.
It usually starts within the household.
See, that's accountability. And these 35 and under, they don't practice that.
Interject
and on top of that, you coming from a 2-parent home where you watched your mother being loved, obviously, you watch your mother being loved appropriately by a Black man. Like, you watched how a Black man is supposed to treat a woman, which is your mother. So, and you watch certain things and you was taught and all this good stuff. And now look at the way you carry, conduct, and answer those questions and say the things that you say. Now,
and that's because I allowed that to resonate within me. What about the people who have that same that decided to go left? You know, I'm my own person.
But once again, where you was raised at, because you could be Trinidadian by blood.
Wait. Can I respond to that?
I was raised in Trinidad.
I want to give the floor.
See what I'm saying? You're not from here.
Hold on. Sorry.
You're not from here. You know what I'm saying?
Time out.
I want to give the floor to my panelist, Catherine, please, first and foremost. And before we get into passing it on to Catherine, you know, everybody is not caught up with everybody in the room really quick. So I want to make sure everybody has introduced themselves properly. I'm glad that this topic is happening because it needs to happen. It needs to happen. It's a discussion. It doesn't matter what any of us look like. It doesn't matter where any of us come from. Us as Black people, we all have the same fight. We just fight the same fight, different ways and different obstacles and different tribulations. So this is more than.
Our viewers again.
Actually, I got to push back on that. Not all Black people are the same. Yeah,
we got time out. We're not getting to that. Hold on. Okay. Gaines, what was you saying, brother? We have to pass it to Kathy.
Just remind our panelists and our viewers what the topic is for tonight.
Panelists and viewers, just to run it back, because now that we have our brunch heads here, on our panelists here, we're just touching bases on all topics from season 2. That is unsolicited part 3, men reclaiming the household, half and half in the relationship, the pronunciation and discussion of Ye, which is formerly known as Kanye West.
Yay.
Yay. That's it. Yay.
You see this shit?
Give him the Ye.
I didn't even pronounce it. See, I got to work on me too. I'm taking accountability from that. That's from season 1. Accountability.
Brother. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Really?
It doesn't matter, but it does, because his name is Ye. Ye. Anyway,
that was an inside joke with me and my panelists real quick. They know what I'm talking about.
Yes, Kanye West.
Can I take the floor?
Yes,
you were gonna introduce other people.
I did want everybody just to touch base on who they were. We have Roland, who was on our episode, Unsolicited Part 3, The Solution, How Do We Fix It? Welcome back, Roland. We have Shay in the building, who is a follower, supporter, also our News London Brunch editor. I wanted to surprise y'all with that. That is the face of our editor, you guys. That is also my cousin, who's from the West Coast of California. We sound alike sometimes. Kat, she was one of our lovely supporters, first and foremost, our special guest from Talk Your Shit season 1. Her and Gaines had a brown skin battle of felonious arguments and discussions, but you know what? She back again. We still building community communication amongst all of us. We got Pablo from the 860. Welcome, brother. How about that win tonight for you, brother? How you feeling? How you feel?
Cowboys Nation. I don't care about
G, your team won tonight. I just want you to know, just in case.
I know. I'm on it. I'm following. Big Eagles in the building.
And real flag. We got our devil's advocate as always, but always dropping them gems. A-Town, brother. Also, guys, I just wanted to fill you guys in. I got a secret to tell you, but A-Town already know about it. So this lady I work with, she thinks A-Town is a gorgeous black man with dreads, and it's really funny. So I had to flatter A-Town with that. A-Town, you gonna hide? You gonna hide? You gonna hide from it? Don't hide from A-Town. Don't hide from it. He's hiding.
Look, he turned into them pork chops.
Oh yeah, he is.
And the green, he ain't got none but
Yo,
love.
listen, man, don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. You know what I'm saying? Don't play with it.
Moving along.
He done cooking.
And also from Tennessee, we got Marlon. Marlon, welcome back. He joined us for our co-parent, having to heal from who you had to co-parent with episode for our News London Brunch After Hour. So welcome back, Marlon. Welcome back, and also to your city, of Tennessee. The deepest condolences, sympathies for everything that has taken place down there. My heart goes out, and I really pray for positivity and safety down there for you and all my loved ones down there, because it is.
Pray for everybody.
Yeah,
look, it's rough. It's rough for Black people, period, man. If you brown skin and you out here, keep your head up, keep your head on the swivel, know where you at all times. I'm going to say this the same thing that I say to people, and I know I'll probably interrupt you, but I'm going to say this to all my people. Hey, man, you get out there and you get in these streets, keep your mind clear. We like to have fun. We like to go out and we like to chill. But the reality of the situation is that we are the most hated individuals in all of this world. Black men especially. Watch yourself. Watch yourself.
Thank you for those words of wisdom, brother. That is very true.
Thank you for that that protection. I want to say that because we want to manifest protection all over all our panelists, all our guests, all our viewers, all our engagers, and even people that don't know about us. We want to pray over our people, us. We got, this fight that's going on. But on a lighter note, I do want to pass it off to Catherine because I'd like to hear her perspective of tonight. What she thought of the season, what she thought of any of the topics, anything she'd like to touch bases on, or ask any of us any questions that she didn't get a chance to ask. Catherine, my dearie, the floor is yours.
Right before, I want to give a huge shout out to the big homie Claudius. Go ahead, Kitty.
Thank you, guys. I'm sure when he views, because he always does, to make sure we're tip top in shape. He does. He is definitely the man behind the host, and he supports. And I would not have done any of this without him. But I most importantly wouldn't have done any of this without you guys, panelists, Pablo, G, Gaines, A-Town. You guys, y'all know what it is.
Oh, y'all just so loving. Y'all better love.
We appreciate you too. We appreciate you too, our editor. Thank you.
Oh yeah, no problem. But y'all really are the people here who make everything happen.
Yeah, you just make us look good.
Well,
Catherine,
nah, y'all go ahead. You can go ahead because what I was gonna say was going off of the conversation. I'm yelling.
Go ahead.
What I was gonna say was going off of the conversation that was happening like before 6 other conversations got introduced. So I'll just wait till another thought comes to me. But I love y'all. I love News London Brunch. I love being here. I love chopping it up with y'all. I like Gaines talking shit all the time and making sure I drink water. I like A-Town popping up, always saying something smart with something silly to follow behind it. I love my boy Pablo, who turned me into a big Eagles fan. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the score was yet, but I'm going to chop it up with him about that later. Jay, what up? It's so good to see your beautiful smile. And thank you for editing videos for us. Kat, you already know. That's my right-hand man up here. You know what I'm saying? We always keep the seat warm for her. Always. Roland, got to get control over that mute button and stop throwing yourself in the middle of people's sentences. But we love having you. We love having you. Marlon, welcome back for the second time around. Really, I think it's the third because you might have popped in on another episode. I think you was in like the store shopping. I don't know, but I'm trailing. Go ahead, Ja.
Let's give Shay the floor. Shay, what do you think, young lady, about season 2 and all of the episodes?
So I feel like everything that y'all discussing, I mean, I agree with both sides, and I feel like it's everybody's fault, men and women. I feel like women at the end of the day, the dude only gonna go so far, as far as you let him. However, they do say, it's a man's world. Men are in charge of a lot of things that go on, at least, in our country. And I feel like I said, I understand both sides. With the men, we all still have this traditional mindset that the man goes out, takes care of everything, the woman stays at home and do all of the household responsibilities. And I feel like it is such a struggle to come away from that idea, no matter how much time has passed, because I'm sure at least all of us here and a lot of us in the world still have that mindset that these women's roles are stay in the house, do what you're supposed to do. The men's role is to go out, work, and provide. And even though times are changing, a lot of times we can't afford to have just one person go out and work and the woman stay home. So I feel like as soon as the woman gets out of the house, she works, the roles do have to shift. And I feel like that's where that pull comes in, because we still have our ideas of how we want to be treated and how men are supposed to provide, and then it's hard to redefine what the partnership is supposed to be like, because you have so much changing in the world and the roles are changing. And it's just, again, it's a conflict within our minds of what we expect versus what can realistically go on in a household. So you are going to have women, like how A-Town said, a lot of women sound like dudes when they rapping and things like that. It's just a lot of tit for tat, like Kat said. It's not just a maturity thing, but the roles, people need to really analyze what the role is now and what they want out of the partner. Because I know some women who feel like, oh, the dude, he can stay at home. He's good and he's still the leader of his household.
Yeah.
Not bringing in finances. And then there's a lot of women who feel like, oh, well, that's not a man. And then you have men who, even in these rap songs, all they broadcast is their money, their jewelry, and how they can buy things for women. So it's a conflict, because when you think about just the music alone, if that's what men are broadcasting, why wouldn't the woman simply expect that? He's not talking about how the woman cook and clean and do this, that, and the fifth. He's just talking about how he can buy things for her. And in return, all he do want is some head. So, I mean, I feel like everybody should really just analyze what their role is and what they want out of that significant other. And it's going to be a struggle to let go of those traditional roles that we were all raised to look at and grow up on. And that's it.
Thank you, Shay.
Can I respond to that?
Yeah, I can. I also got something to kind of, because when she says like traditions that people grew up with, like I speak for myself, but I didn't grow up in that tradition where like my dad wasn't around. My mom took care of everything. So I don't know what tradition you're talking about when you say that. Like older, as you get older in generations and go further back, yeah, that was kind of the thing. But as you get closer towards our generation and generations under us, like they're not raised that way. They raised with, you being able to change your gender. Like they getting raised with all types of things that are, has nothing to do with the man being one place and the woman being, like having to be in one place as well. Like everything's all changed. So I didn't grow up in that. Like I've never seen, a situation where a man was taking care of everything. The mom was in the house. My mom was out working, paying the bills, taking care of us when she got home. Like, so I don't know. And as far as like when it comes to like a household, like that's why it's two of y'all. Like it shouldn't be okay, you do this and I do this. It's a we do this. Like some days, it like, even in my like with my situation, with my relationship, I come home for work some days and I'll see dishes in the sink and I'll put them in the dishwasher. Like why would I wait for her to get off work, 2 hours later than I do
But
and have
Pablo,
to
you
do that?
understand the difference. You
It's just a
understand the
we thing.
flexibility of
Well, you
relationships.
got to. It's got to be given and take. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I'm not no pro at this, bro. Like this is my first real relationship that's like going good. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do as far as like where I'm at. I'm being a better boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? I fortunately have a way better girlfriend in previous relationships. So like I'm getting to experience that, together shit. Like it's always we. It ain't all right, this is mine, this is yours. No, it's a we thing. Sometimes I'm cooking, sometimes she's cooking. You know what I mean? It's not like she's stuck here, I'm stuck out here going to get it, and she's stuck in the house taking care of everything that I come home with. Like, no. Like it's she out working too. You know what I'm saying? She got a good ass job. Like why not? Why not us both have good jobs? We could take care of our kids better. Like it's I don't know. I don't see where the conflict is still at. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to be independent woman, cool. Go be independent. There's people out there that want relationships and willing to build off that. If you're gonna be selfish, be selfish. That should mean by yourself. Like so be by yourself if you want to be like that. But if you want to grow and build something, like you need help. You need other people. Don't have to be a relationship, but you need others. Like it's hard to do shit by yourself. So yeah.
Can I respond to Miss Shay's comments as well? Because I have some things I would like to say. I'm going to say that the roles and the expectations of men in their relationships hasn't changed since men has been on the planet. They have to be protectors. They have to be providers and stuff of that nature. So that expectation has transcended through the era. The thing that has changed is the expectation of women and what their roles are in society. Meaning that the guys through education, liberation, and stuff of that nature, they're able to move more, have the more mobility in the society, which I think is a little problematic a little bit because Black men are still not at the forefront of mobility in America due to the fact of white supremacy, due to the fact of government policies that has been put on our community through either through Section 8 by removing the Black man from the home, either through divorce rates that are initiated mostly by women. Like an average Black man does not want to be in a relationship with a woman knowing that she might take half. I'm just going to throw that out there and just keep it so real with you because I wouldn't be in a relationship with a woman who's going to take half my shit after I work hard in my life. That's enough for any man, a respectable man, to go insane. So those are some of the things I did want to address because I've seen that happen to men. Their dreams, their legacies getting torn down by women. And that's not fair.
You sure about that, Roland? Now, I'm not going to say anything bad, but I'm going to say this. Here's the thing. At what point do we also have personal accountability? I'm from a different generation. I'm a little bit older. And I'll be really honest. I look at some of these young Black men, and if I like dudes, I wouldn't care to date them at all. Half of them pants sagging, too ignorant to go to college or go do anything worthwhile to themselves, and looking for somebody to be able to take care of themselves. At some point, also too, and this is not to diminish or say anything, but the reality is when do we start to take our home back? When do we start to take our own place? When do we start to stand up? Because I see more dudes with their pants hanging below their ass, tight jeans, can't hold a job. Who wants that? Would you date something of that nature? You don't want a woman of that nature, but you don't. But the reality is that also on the same note, as men, you got to give a woman something to want. Give her something to have, something to accomplish and get there. And the reality of the situation is that we spend more time, a lot of time. I'm not saying all men, not saying every man, but we spend more time blaming other people for our own indiscretions and problems that we cause ourselves, rather than standing up and taking account for those. And the reality of the situation is you can't leave a house sitting in the back of the house. You lead from the front, not the back, not the middle. You lead from the front. So the reality of the situation is that there's also a point of accountability that has to be taken into this. I mean, yeah, society has driven Black men into a corner. I'll give all of that. But the reality is when do we start to fight back? Black people are the top tier when it comes to anything and everything. We're on top of fashion. We're on top of music. We're on top of everything else except being on top of our own lives. And that's across the board. You know, I've had it from both sides. I was married before, twice. My second ex-wife made way more money than me. Still makes more money than me. She's a 3-figure chick. Does quite well for herself. And I sabotaged it because I couldn't get out of the way of understanding that I was dating a woman that made more money than me. Didn't even understand it. Couldn't see it. Completely sabotaged it. Now, we're great friends and our relationship has progressed afterwards. But the reality of the situation comes into, again, accountability. At what point do we stand and look in the mirror and tell ourselves, you know what? I messed that up. That's my fault. I fucked that up. Because you can't, a leader will always tell you they have to be accountable and present at all times. They are the forefront. And sometimes they take the brunt blow of things that are not even their fault. But that's what being a leader is. Now, if you take that in consideration, how many men are really ready to be a leader? To be honest. And I'm not saying that none are. I'm not saying, but the reality of the situation is it's accountability for both men and women. My mama used to tell me all the time, choices. The people you choose to deal with, the life you choose to live, those are choices you make. And at some point, we have to take accountability for that and stand up and say, you know what? That's my bad. I fucked up. I did that one. So if we as men want to lead, at some point you got to stand in front of the bullet and take it. Because leading is not just the glory. It's not the when you get to the top of the hill, you can be the one to help hold up the flag. Yeah, you won. But leading also is that when those L's come and those losses, to take that accountability to be able to stand up in front and be like, okay, so how do we fix this? How do we make this better? And I can tell you as the younger generation keeps going, it's not always there. There's not always accountability. So at what point do we start to accept that and start to hold people accountable for that?
Thank you, Marlon, for your perspective. I really appreciate that. That touch bases is back on accountability from season 1. That I mean, that's the biggest thing, as well as the fucked up shit Black people do, because falls all in the same rhetoric, actually. G, we're gonna give you the floor, my dear.
Yay.
All right, I'm trying to like get this out the way it sounds in my head. And if I start to trail, let me know. Because it keeps going off. But like the original conversation, like with the whole puppy, when A-Town said what he said to Kat and the way she responded, and he was impressed by that. The thing is, I think that male and females are both driven by like what it's supposed to look like or what you're supposed to go after. You know, a wife is supposed to be this kind of chick who does this and dresses like that and talks like this and acts like that. And a man, a leader, is supposed to look like this, talk loud and go to work and all these things. You know what I'm saying? This is what society is telling us it looks like. Meanwhile, you got men who have this type of woman that is a quote unquote wife, yet they got this side chick who is in the streets known as maybe this or that. And, you know, you wouldn't look right saying, this is my lady or this is my wife because you worried about what everybody else is going to say. But you in love with this chick. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of chick that you like. You know what I'm saying? So instead of going and being with what you like, you sitting miserable because that's what society's telling you you're supposed to do. And when Kat answered A-Town, it wasn't that basic response like that chicks give, that sound good, like when a dude is doing this or doing that. Like she spoke for what she likes and how she maneuvers in somebody that she's dealing with. You know what I mean? And it was organic. Her response was organic. It wasn't fueled by how it's supposed to look or how it's supposed to sound. And if everybody kept it real with themselves about what they like, you know, even though it may not look like it at first, that could be a leader. That man could be a leader. You know what I'm saying? Even though this girl may talk loud and her rap sound like this, she may very well be a wife. You know what I'm saying? You can't, if you listen to what people are telling you something is supposed to look like, you'll never find it. You have to be real with yourself, and it has to look like that to you. It doesn't have to look like that to everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, shout out to the ugly guys. Yes, one for
Yo, let me give everybody some backdrop. Brown skin cat.
Hold on, take down 1 second. 1 second. Let Roland, you there? What you had to say, sir?
Yeah, thank you. One of the things I wanted to talk about is that I hear maybe some Black women in our community don't want leaders. When I went to college, I'm going to keep it so real with you. A lot of women were not interested in me. I work hard, give back to the community, stuff of that nature. They just didn't care. They didn't care because I didn't have the money, or I didn't have what they thought right then and there, respectfully. So I saw that go on, and I see these are the same women I go to school with, you know, and they messing with Pookie and Ray Ray down the street. You don't think that shit don't piss a brother who worked hard, who went to school? That crap really pisses us off when we see that crap. Like, real talk. So like that's some of the things that I've experienced. And like, you're told to go to school, you're told to work hard, you do these things, and if you don't get those expectations or meeting the women that you so desire, it can lead some men to be really resentful. I'm not as resentful like that, and I don't come at it like that. But there's a lot of brothers out there that are really pissed off. And know what they do? They grab passports. Know what they do? They date outside their race. Know what they do? They downplay Black women instead of trying to build them up, you know? I don't really co-sign all that, but I understand what those brothers are going through. I just don't want to go through that direction personally. That's just how I want to. I don't want to maneuver like that. The other thing is, like, some men want to stay with those women is because sometimes it's just cheaper to keep her. They don't want to, like, if they go a divorce or anything or break off the thing, it might end up hurting them financially. Black men already making a limited amount of money. You got people, white men who don't even have high school diplomas or even degrees, who make more than some of the people who got college degrees that are Black. So you don't think that shit don't piss us off? Like, I worked a job. I'm more smarter than my boss. I have more degrees and also more experience than my boss, but they'll hire the white guy because he's the color of the protection, and they'll screw the Black man who works hard, and they keep him down at menial jobs. So, like, these are some of the things that are really stacked against Black men. And I think that I think that other groups of people need to understand our struggle and appreciate our struggle and try to uplift our struggle and work with us. I don't see sometimes Black women advocating for Black men. When there's a killing that goes on for these Black men, they're not really up in arms saying, hey, you're taking away a Black man from us. You're locking up a Black man with this mass incarceration shit. I can't find a good Black man. I don't see the women storming with their signs out saying, you're taking away our leaders, you know? So it's not all of them, but I don't really see that on average. And like, brothers want to see that. They want to see our women fight for us, you know? Because a lot of our brothers, we do fight for you guys. We do support.
Do we deserve it? Do we deserve it though?
We do deserve it. As men, we do deserve it. The Black Panthers were formed. The Black Panthers were formed to protect Black women. The Black Panthers were the ones who actually defended our women. All right. So like, those are examples of how men put themselves on the line to support Black women in our Black family units. So
I want to interject on that, Roland, because no matter how many times Black women cap and protect and stand for Black men, we still don't all the 100% get seen. 100%. It's not the same type.
Well, look at Black Lives Matter. Look at Black Lives Matter.
That's what I said. White people not for nothing though. That's
Black men than you think.
Look, they took the Black man's struggle and they profited.
No, they took propaganda, bro. because propaganda has allowed a lot of men to think there's a lot of Black women that's not supporting us. And I'm gonna like to pause you right there. You're incorrect in that notion 100%. The problem is that a lot of men date for aesthetics and then get tight when it don't turn out how it wants to turn out. Another issue is a lot of you men go after women that will not appreciate the type of man you are. Now, if you was to go over a woman like me, I will scoop you up like some groceries, boo. I know your value. But let me tell you something. There's not a lot of women that operate at the same mindset that I do. And that's what happens. So what you'll need to do is date within your brackets as well. A lot of y'all want to go chase things that is not even, and makes it unevenly yoked. And you go with those people and then it falls to shambles. And then you come online and all these podcasts and everything, because this is the observation of mine, talking about men is this, woman is this, another thing. Men and women are constantly telling each other what we want, but men and women are too busy trying to be right. They're not seeing what is being going through the middle. Everybody needs to humble themselves and actually listen. So this way it will stop this inconsistent notion that Black women are the problem, because I've seen a lot of ghetto whites, a lot of ghetto Hispanic, a lot of ghetto Asians who killing Black men, violating them, burying them in their rose gardens, but we are the problem. And let's talk about the fact that we have been bred to believe that Black men are nothing. Back in the Caribbean, when they had a slave trade, they used to call something called an animal farm. They used to make black strong men, strapping men, will molest them, break them, to make Black women show them, your man is shit. Your man is shit. Look what I did to that. And they will allow that to happen through generation. Now what we need to stop doing is, stop you. Oh, Masa did this. This person did this. Start our own line and stick within it. We are too caught up in what white men saying. Who gives a fuck about that? White men is going to be racist forever. They're going to be fucked up forever. That's the reality. The problem is, we are too reactive and less proactive in the shit that we do. So we're going to continue to be stagnant on the same bullshit. That's all.
Thank you so
Like
much.
Marlon said,
Hold on.
Amen.
Hang on. Let's give it to A-Town. A-Town's been patient. It's
Okay.
till it's his go. And also, we can't talk over each other. A-Town, where you at, my G?
Paul has his hand up as well. Of A-Town needs to get.
Hold on.
There he is. You know when I say your name, you pop up.
Wait a minute. Little Miss Cat was talking that talk, man. She, you know what I mean? She touched on a little bit of things I be talking about. She just articulated it way better than I could or would or did. So and shout out to her, because a lot of the conversations I had for these last 2 seasons and all that, Shorty been, you know what I mean, that she just articulated it for me. You feel me? So with that being said, all I wanted to say was the way that motherfucking all I was talking about was the dog. You know what I'm saying? Miss Cat brought the dog. Said, you know, somebody got it for her. And I was like, somebody, like who? Like, did the dog give you a dog? And she said, no, it was a king. You know, just in case people don't know the backstory of what, you know, she was talking about. And I made a question. I said, well, did the dog give you a dog? She was like, no, he was a king. I was like, well, you know, sometimes maybe what he did was he projected what was going on with him. You know, he probably gave you a dog or was like, here, on something for you to take care of, clean up after, make sure he's straight. She said, nah, it's not the kind of time he was on. And then I can't even repeat what Shorty said, because she, you know what I'm saying, she, I don't want to misquote her or anything of that nature, because she said it so eloquently. And what I really like about it, what I really like about Miss Cat joint, like she part of the 35 and unders. She got y'all looking great, even though y'all down like 1,000,000 points. She got y'all looking great, but she not from here. She's not from here. She's from Trinidad. And she come from a loving home with a mom and a dad. So a lot of you 35 and unders don't come from a loving home with a mom and a dad, and you're Americanized. You know, and with that being said, that's just my opinion of the people I've dealt with. I've come across other 35 or unders, few and far between, that wasn't on it like that. But they're unicorns. They're old souls. They move differently. Whereas a lot of these 35 or unders feed off of toxic, manipulative, narcissistic shit. Like, that's just what they're into. Why? Because they've been watching that shit on Love and Hip Hop for fucking all kind of seasons. All this bullshit they've been watching on TV. They want to emulate and live that shit. Like, every time, like it just is what it is. Like, I'm just making an observation. And if I'm lying, I'm flying, and I ain't leave the ground yet. But that's neither here nor there. I like the shit she talking is because Miss Cat was on here and She gave us that Trinidadian bop. She eloquently said that fly shit real fly. You know what I'm saying? To the point G was like, wait, hold on, let me piggyback on that. But I need her to come back and say exactly what she said so everybody can understand the perspective on everything. Because me, I ain't had to say nothing. I really don't even want to talk. Because Miss, hold up, brown skin cat, she got it. She talking that talk. I'm straight. I don't gotta say nothing. Because she's going to eloquently prove my points for me. Just how she carry and conducts herself is going to prove all of my shit I've been saying for the last 2 seasons. So you ain't gotta listen to me, you can listen to her. She's easier on the eyes than me anyway. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, look at G glowing how she been glowing. Huh? You gotta let me know about that skincare regimen, girl, because you over there shining like new money. You know what I'm talking about?
All that black don't crack, boy.
Huh? You feel me? Light bright.
You got that skin for the
melatonin.
Let me just interject real quick though, because you know what I'm saying, I'm just a Black American, regular ass Black American woman, you know what I'm saying, from a broken home with a single mother, you know what I'm saying, but
yeah, but you're a unicorn.
All right, I done got my credentials.
I already said that there are people like you out there, but you guys are unicorns.
No, there's not people like me. No, because there's only one me, Janisha. There's only one me. There's only one me. There's no likes either. Janice Reynolds was the only like, and then listen.
Listen. The way you carry and conduct yourself, and you got to remember too, you're college educated, so you know what that means. If you're college educated, how many of your peers are college educated?
A lot of them.
How many of the 35 and unders are also college educated in the same courses that you took? In the same courses that you took.
Well, they can't be in the same course because not everybody has the natural flow of the course of what I said. I took what I took to perfect what I naturally do, and that's love people, listen to people, understand people, and communicate and build communication. I ain't cutting you off. I'm just saying, brother, like this ain't something to diminish American Black women or separate them from. This is literally just a stigma that is placed in society on all of us Black people in general. Fuck the women, fuck just no one target. This is men and women in general. We all need to love each other a little bit better. We all need to work on apologizing. And like you said, A-Town from season 1, and Marlon saying now, accountability. And it's all about what you really want to manifest and speak into your life. If you speak in negativity all the damn time, you don't know how to get started, you don't care to get started, you just like living comfortable, you just like suffering, then that's what you're going to receive. But 9 times out of 10, you speak that positivity, you live that positivity, you claim that positivity, even when things don't even seem light enough to see positivity for you, things start unfolding in a very, very, very positive type way. But not only that, you gotta claim what you want, man. What do you want, A-Town? I mean, before we, get ready to wrap.
Listen, I want.
What do you want?
I want these 35 unders to take accountability, man. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me take that back. I would like everyone to have an open, honest conversation with yourself. Once you have an open, honest conversation with yourself, it doesn't matter when somebody else is telling you about you because you already told yourself about you. What happens is when you don't have that conversation with yourself and somebody goes to telling you about you, you feel offended because who are you to talk to me like that? And then you start badgering them about, well, you don't do this or you live like this or you, No, you're only acting like that because you're offended. Why? Because you didn't have that conversation with yourself. Now, if you would have had that conversation with yourself and told yourself all of those things, when somebody else brought it up to you, you wouldn't be offended because you already acknowledged it and accepted it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you said it to yourself, so you're not even going to get offended. The only thing you could do is like, you know what? This person cares about me enough to tell me these things. You understand what I'm saying? Because if they didn't love you, they didn't give a fuck. They'd let you crash and burn and keep being a fucking bozo. But because they care what you got going on, you're not even jacking it. So once you have that conversation with yourself, then you can move accordingly. You could do whatever you got to do to get what you need done. You had that conversation with yourself, and then you're working on the things you need to work on because you already acknowledged them. You said those things. So if somebody else says it to you, you ain't even tripping about it because you already said it to yourself. They were like, oh, you bum ass nigga. I'm like, yeah, no, I got to get my shit together. And the other time, he be like, what? Who you talking about? You want to go crazy? Nah. That's what I need everybody to do. You know what I'm saying? Because You don't have that conversation with yourself, and you don't take accountability for whatever fucked up shit you got that you did or what's going on in your life. You know what happens? You don't think there's nothing wrong with you, so there's nothing to fix. So you keep perpetuating that fucked up cycle because you didn't take accountability for your shit because you don't feel like there's nothing wrong. So if there's nothing wrong, what is there to fix? If it ain't broke, I ain't fixing shit. But if you're not taking accountability for your shit, you don't even know that it's broke. So you're just perpetuating a fucked up cycle. And I'm not even talking about men, women. I'm talking about everybody as a whole. I'm not talking about the 35 and unders or the 30. I'm talking about everybody, myself included. Like, I've had that conversation with myself several times. That's why a motherfucker can't tell me shit. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody else running around here trying to front for the world through social media and hopeful lenses, nigga. Fuck out of here. I be on there cracking jokes, nigga, trying to give gems. And a motherfucker, you know when you touch a nerve when motherfuckers want to talk about the, yo, listen, right? They say, yo, they say it's the messenger. Like, oh, it's never the message, it's always the messenger. No, motherfucker, it's the message. It's never the messenger. A person can go, what can a broke person tell me about money? Everything. Yeah. Are you shitting me? That motherfucker can tell you everything about money. He'll tell you how he fucked up and lost his shit. So for you to say a broke nigga can't tell me nothing about money, that's your ignorance right there. Nothing. You ain't growing. You ain't growing. You dead. What the fuck is you doing?
Thank you.
Like, come on, let's be all the way real with everybody about everything. Like, that's what it all. That's the start. That's the start of the accountability thing. That open, honest conversation with yourself about what you got going on. From there, everything will get better. Everything will get better. Because once you have that conversation with yourself, then you'll be like, yo, then you'll be like, okay, there's the good shit, and there's the bad shit, and there's the fucked up shit. Then you start compartmentalizing people like, okay, these people push me towards this good shit, these other people with this bad shit, and these other motherfuckers with this fucked up shit. So let me stay away from these people that entice and encourage this fucked up shit and focus on the people, because I want to focus on the good shit. So let me focus on the good shit and the people that focus on the good shit with me. It starts with the conversation with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's just from personal experience. Y'all can do with it what you want. You can live that facade. You can front like everything is all good, peaches and cream and all that other weird, goofy shit. You could put the filters on, motherfucking. You could take the picture and add all those fucking filters. But bitch, when after you get all those 60, 70, 80, 100 and something likes, you're looking at Mary and your skin still fucked up with the blemishes and the dry, all the bullshit because you ain't got no filter.
You're clean out of F-bombs.
Yeah, the profanity police has spoken.
Yeah,
the profanity police has spoken, and you got to.
Can I respond to that?
One second, Roland. We're gonna get ready to on touch bases to everybody before we get ready to wrap it up for tonight.
Also the reparation discussion. I have to give you guys updates.
1 second. We'll take your updates in 1.2.2 seconds, brother. Paul, Catherine, Games. I'd like to hear from you tonight before we get ready to close down, because I like the fact that everybody's here talking their shit. I wish some of the people that were talking their shit, you know, in the group chat would like to, you know, have shown their face tonight, but you know how that goes. You know, you got some people that just don't, they're just not ready to accept the safe space that we are giving them. And I want you guys to know, please don't feel discouraged. This is a safe place. This is a safe place. And this is a balanced place for perspectives and discussions that need to be had for hard topics. I think it's exceptional. I'm super thankful for everybody that came to kick it with us tonight. I want to hear from Gaines tonight on our topics, our season, anything about tonight. Does it resonate with you? How do you feel about our season, you know, and everything that we're doing right now, brother? How do you feel about it?
Oh, I feel great about everything, man. I love it. And I'm looking for to be a stay-at-home stepdad, ladies. So, you know, holla at me. You know what I mean? I know that's big and whatnot. So, nah, for sure. Never mind all that shit. I want a woman that make more than me. Fuck out of here, B. I make 0 right now. I'm taking any and all. You know, no more than 2 kids. 2 is like my limit and shit, you know? So we want to go beyond that. You know, you got to be able to afford the kids and me. Remember, I'm staying at home with these little niggas. So, you know what I mean?
All. That's only fair.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So with that being said, I'm going to slide it to Miss Shay because she was, you know, very patient. Do you have anything to say, young lady?
No, not really. I just, I feel for a lot of people, like Roland said. I've been around gentlemen like him who, speak the way he do and have a college education and stuff. And I've heard a lot of guys say they've been like by a lot of black women, and I'm sorry that happened to you, and that ain't all of us. But I do feel like at some point you gotta stop blaming the white man, because I've seen so many black women, they black just as much as the black men, and they're single, they're mothers, they go to college, they work, they carry a household all by themselves, and it's just like Marlon said, at one point, does anybody take accountability? Not everybody grew up in a two-parent household. I did for, I'll say, most of my life up until about high school. So I feel like I kind of got the both of I got both worlds, two parents in the household versus just being carried by my mother at some point. And I just feel like Janisha said, whatever you want out of life, you're gonna have to work for it, and you're gonna have to speak that positivity into it. Whether it's relationships or finances, whatever, it's just at some point can't keep blaming white people for it, because we have it a lot easier, I feel like, than a lot of black people back in the day. Like, you can go out and get a job, you can go out and own your own business. If somebody's not treating you right, do your own shit. That's just what it comes down to. If somebody's in a relationship with you and you feel like you got to sit outside in the car for 2 hours before you can go and talk to them and interact, just dump them. Yes, it's going to be expensive probably, but at the end of the day, like, I would say first work on it, because then maybe you can stay together and then you both, have a cheat. But if you can't make it work, just dump them. Yes, you might have to start all over again, but if you got faith, you know you're supposed to do, everything should work out. And that's it. And that goes for men and women. Like, being unhappy in these toxic relationships and just doing toxic things to each other for tit for tat, or because you don't really have a clue as to what you should be doing as a person, it's just not going to end well. It's not healthy for all parties involved, especially when there's kids involved. That's it.
Thank you for your perspective, young lady. Pablo.
Man, listen.
Hang on,
Pablo,
hang on.
tell
Now we gonna
them
get
about the fucked up shit white people do, man. Tell them about that shit. Listen, man, life is easier for black people today because you want to know why? They don't gotta do all the shit they used to do to destroy us, because we destroying ourselves now. So they don't gotta work as hard because we doing it for them. That's why shit is easier. Hey, go ahead and get that job, because you want to know what happens? That black woman can't get her Section 8 if your felonious ass is with her. So go ahead, be great. Live within the means that we've allowed you to live in. Like, we don't gotta do nothing to you because you're doing it to yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, straight, go ahead. Go to school and get that college degree. You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna end up like Roland, working for a white man that don't got a college degree, and he's gonna make more money than you. So go ahead and go get it. You can go to school.
I don't work for a white. Wait. Correction. I don't work for a white man right now. I work for a black. I actually work for a black woman, and I work for a nonprofit. I don't want her to fire me the next day now, family. I don't want her to fire me, because I like my job as an educational counselor.
I don't know what you got going on. I just quoted you. You said you work for a guy. You got degrees.
I was giving an example.
But that was
I was giving an I was giving an example of what I was experiencing recently. No, I was giving an example of what I've experienced. That's all. But currently, I work at a community college.
No, I shouldn't have cut my beard today, man. My gray out, man. Oh, check this out, right? But like that was I just wanted to touch base with Shay was talking about. No, you good? I'm out, Pablo. I just wanted to jump on that, and I
really don't got even much to say either. Like, I feel like when people say like the white man, it's more the system. It's more the systems that's been put in place, and that shit still exists. So yeah, I feel like black men, he's right. We're public enemy number one. We've always been, and that, I don't see a change in that. But fucking, I'm gonna let y'all get back to talking about that and shit, because I'm celebrating. You know what I'm saying? We're going to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I'm still off a high right now, so I'm just looking at y'all faces, enjoying y'all conversation. But I'm
giving you thumbs down, brother.
I know you later. Cowboy Nation. Yeah. They don't live here, bro.
Now, on a lighter note, though, because we talk about all this because this season that we did actually have was a lot more serious and a lot more heavy, and it did touch a lot of, a lot of issues that we face every day. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't really talk about it. So to get it out and talk about it and know where we're going with it, because we all ended with that solution. We know what the solution is. We know what to do. You know what I'm saying? We got to work at it. We got to work on ourselves. We got to unify. We got to invest in our black businesses. We got to, just start over again at this point and really work hard at it. There's going to be an obstacle everywhere we go. At the end of the day, I don't think certain things about black people are going to change as far as us making a joke out of everything or finding laughs about everything. I know we talked about that, about us finding a lot of serious situations funny, or we make jokes out of it, or to try to make light out of it. That's never going to change. I don't see that changing for at least for me. I can't speak for anybody else, but I don't think that's going to change, because everything to me be really, really funny. Like really funny. Like life in general, I just enjoy life. So whatever happens, whatever takes place, I try to find the good out of it. And whenever I get really broken down and it hurts, I deal with my feelings and I handle my accountability, responsibility, and all of that in one. But overall, pornography was also part of our season, and that was an interesting topic because nobody actually really talks about it, and that episode actually got people to talk about it in their relationships, which is interesting. And when it comes to pornography, it makes me think, poly. You guys, this has been cool. This has been dope. This has been real. I wholeheartedly appreciate y'all. I ain't gonna tell you how much I love y'all, because obviously G tells me I'm just real intense with all of my love. Even though my love be genuine with my intensity, because for real, not for nothing, we would not be here without none of y'all, and we can never push this movement the way that it is being pushed without y'all. So, guys, keep building this communication. Let's stay tuned for season 3, because the topics, don't worry, they're just gonna be a little bit lighter than season 2. They just have to lighten y'all back up a little bit, bring y'all viewers and talk some more shit. You know what I'm saying? We gotta talk a little bit more of that.
Can I have a suggestion before we close out? We need to have a Black Pet Day. Black Pet Day. Black Pet Day. Black Pet Day.
Oh, Black people own pets now. Well, that'll be a whole nother topic in it.
Yo, thanks for coming out. God bless. Good night.
Whole nother topic in itself. We're gonna chop it up. Editor, you got some work to do, friend. We gonna
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Yes, but not for
give it to me. I'll edit it.
Oh yeah, she does the good blooper. Geez, we got our editor, then we got our blooper maker. Okay, and then that's just how that goes. But not for nothing, you guys. It's been dope. It's been real. Shout out to all y'all. Thank you for tuning in for the season 2 Talk Your Shit finale.